Hi, this is Chris, Video Game Dust Sleeves, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with my co-host, Linda, aka the Gamer Girl,
Hi, Internet.
and my guest gamers, BonesZ06
Yo, yo.
DanCavDragon,
Hi, everyone.
and HeyDadLetsPlay,
Hello.
also known as Billy. The first segment is Sleeve It or Leave It. The first title is Michael Jackson Moonwalker. Dan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, I would definitely sleeve this, especially if it's a Master System game. It's probably not it's not one of the more common Master System games, I don't think, so I would definitely sleeve this one.
Bones, sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, I'd sleeve that one as well.
Linda, sleeve it or leave it?
And that's a yes.
Hey, Dad, sleeve it or leave it?
I'm gonna sleeve it on this one. It's a really weird game, but it's a lot of fun.
Next title is Outrun for Sega. Bones, sleeve it or leave it?
Me, personally, I think I would skip this one.
Dan, sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, I was a fan of the arcade game, and I don't see this on too many consoles, so the Genesis version is a decent version. I would definitely sleeve that.
Billy, sleeve it or leave it?
I don't think I ever played this except in the arcade, but if it's like the arcade, I'd say sleeve it because it's a great game.
Linda?
Yeah, I would sleeve it.
And the next title is Space Harrier. Bones, sleeve it or leave it?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with sleeve it just for the sole fact that it comes in a cardboard box.
Dan, sleeve it or leave it? Oh, this is the 32X, by the way. Dan, sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, it's a decent title to I guess take advantage of the 32X, so I would sleeve it.
Billy?
It's a masterpiece. Sleeve it.
Linda?
Yeah, I would sleeve this one.
And the last one is Toe Jam and Earl. Linda, sleeve it or leave it?
I would sleeve it.
Billy?
Leave it.
Dan.
Not a fan.
Oh, snap.
You don't like Toe Jam and Earl?
The Toe Jam and Earl 2 is fantastic, but the first one is just confusing. I'm not into it.
Dan?
I'm actually going to agree, because I didn't have this game in my collection until very, very recently, because I never really wanted it, so I probably wouldn't sleeve it in that case.
Alright, do you also like just two, or?
I don't really care for the entire series, but I mean,
It's one of those games where it's kind of like you either get it or you don't get it. Like, not everybody likes Beavis and Butthead.
No, sleeve it or leave it?
Well, I'm in agreement with them. The second one is definitely better than the first one, but I don't hate on the first one, so I would sleeve it.
Okay. Next segment is Guess That Box Art. Bones, you got a guess on the first one?
Oh my god. That little, we're looking at the little square here,
Yes,
right?
yes, we are.
Oh god. What is this? Michael J. Fox and like Teen Wolf or something? Man, I don't know, man.
Can we get the system to help out?
Sure, that's Sega.
No, I still don't know, man.
Dan, any guesses?
No, but I could definitely see Michael J. Fox. That's both mentioned.
Linda, any guesses?
The leopard print is kind of bringing something to me as far as, like, definitely 90s.
Definitely 90s.
But-
Yes, you are correct.
Is that... Looks like a little tiny person. Is that a little tiny person, like, right underneath, or is that just...
No, that's well, it's another person. Let's put it that way. It's not a tiny person.
That's okay. I'm like confused. It's like a hairpiece gone bad.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
Let's see. I have no idea right now. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay,
You know.
we'll go to
It's
Hey
a
Dad.
slumper, man.
For some reason, I want to say Hook, but I don't think that's right.
No, that's not right. All right, so I'll give you another hint. It's definitely a movie franchise.
Mm.
I'm trying to give you another hint without actually giving you.
Back to
Franchise
the
like
Future?
there's more than one.
Yeah.
I can only think of Back to the Future. Sure as hell ain't Batman.
Well, it's definitely live action, so it's not animated.
Right.
True Lies? Nah.
Nah.
Well, okay. So the only people who had strange red hair was in the 90s Joker,
You're on the right track.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
Because I'm like, that red hair, like, that, it just kept giving me, like, vibes of, like, I've seen that movie cover.
Yep. That's Jim
Then I
Carrey.
was like, Tommy, and then, because, like, you know the face? Like, how you're like, I've seen that bad leopard print before. Where have I seen that bad leopard print?
Yeah, that's Two-Face. Yep.
Yeah.
So Bones, you were right. Technically, you said, but you said it wasn't Batman. Next title. Dan, you got a guess?
You got some good ones this time, Chris. Let's see.
I'm surprised you didn't get the top one. That's kind of surprising.
Nah. I wasn't even on the right track for that
Well,
one.
you picked a good square, though. I will give you that.
And this one, I don't know. This color scheme.
All right, I'll give you a console. N64.
Okay, I think I know what it is.
Good. You just made everybody happy in here.
No, all I see Optimus Prime.
Yeah, that makes sense. I understand why you would say something like that. Linda, you got any guesses?
I am currently drawing a blank on that one.
Okay. How about Bones?
Well, it's obviously a race car in the picture in my eyes.
Yes.
Racing USA or something.
Yes. So, I mean, hey Dad, what was going to be your guess?
That's what I was gonna say. Either Cruising USA or Cruising World. I wasn't sure which one.
Yeah, it was the first one, Cruising USA.
Yeah.
You guys both got it. Bones, you technically said the wrong name, but that's okay. I knew where you were going. I knew you were going. All right, the next segment is Logo Sleeve of the Month. This month goes to Hey Dad, Let's Play.
Hey, I know that guy.
I would hope so. I would hope so. If you would like his sleeve, please by all means contact me and check out his YouTube channel. The next segment is Franchise of the Month. Take it away, Dan.
Okay. So franchise of the month. We just pick a franchise and go around the table and discuss it. If we have anything to add to the discussion, please do. And this month we're picking Assassin's Creed. I didn't realize that there's a bunch of titles in the series, and I'm not sure I even got them all in this picture, but it's been around for a couple of console generations now, going back to PS3. And yeah, I'd be curious to see if you guys have played any of these, and if you like them, which ones you've liked best, or you're a fan. And we can start off with Bones and just keep going down.
I'm not going to have much to really put for an input on this. I do have a ton of these games. I think the PS3 is the one I have the most of them on. I think I have 6 on it. 6 or 7. They did make a lot, and they ported it onto a ton of systems. But as far as playing them goes, I've only dabbled with them a little bit. they definitely seem fun, but I never wanted to rush back to them or made it back to any of them. So I really don't have much far as an input will go. Are the games really good? But they are definitely, from what I did play, were fun and entertaining. I've never made it back to any of them, and they made a ton of them, so I'm way behind on the series.
All right. I'll just skip myself, but move on to Hey Dad. How about you in Assassin's Creed? Are you a fan?
I was a big fan of Assassin's Creed. I've played all of them. You're missing Unity, and then the little mobile game is the only two that's missing there. But I really enjoyed it. I'd say Brotherhood's probably my favorite one. And then once we've got Unity and Origins and Odyssey, the gameplay changes really differently. And I didn't care for those. Valhalla kind of takes it back a step to how they used to be. It's a little better, but I think it's great. I think they're a great series. They kind of messed up their story a little bit, so they're. I don't know if we want to give a whole lot of it away, but they have a modern day story and then a historical story within them, and then
Think of the Matrix.
Kind of the Matrix, yeah. So once you get to Assassin's Creed 3, the historical story is fantastic, but they kind of ruined their modern day one, and I kind of just wished that after 3 they wouldn't even go back to it, but they keep trying to, and it's just not as great. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I have all of these games.
Nice. And Linda, I think you've played your share of Assassin's Creed, correct?
Yeah, I have played 1 through 3. I never got the PSP or DS game. I played Black Flag, Unity, and Revelations and Rogue. The other ones didn't really interest me. Basically, the person is put into a machine and you have to go back in history and try to solve a problem. And if you don't solve the problem, it kind of takes a while to get through the story. But it's better in the first 3. They kind of dived in and did really well on the first one. And then, my favorite is Black Flag. It's 3 in Black Flag. Even though the machine in the modern era is bad, the historical one is so spot on and good. And it really just depends on the person, because there's a character for each one, I've never gotten to the old, the newer ones. I've never played any of the Origins or Odyssey or Valhalla. I just, for some reason, kind of saw them and went, okay, and just never really got into it. And that's just because of the history. Unless you're really a history buff and know what's going on, you're kind of lost.
Valhalla is definitely worth a look, but I mean, I'm all into all that Norse nonsense, so.
Yeah, it's kind of like God of War,
Yeah.
I've done God of War, and I was like, do I really want to dabble back in there and go back in?
Right.
So I'll wait until it's on sale, and then I'll try it. Then we'll see what happens. But I will say it's a beefy game to play. It's not one of those games where you could just play it in a few hours and be done. It's gonna be side missions and getting through a lot of this nitty gritty and trying to be not seen. You're kind of Dishonored, where you're trying to hide and not be seen, and if you're seen, you got a lot of mess to clean up. And for some people, it's not worth their time. It's not not everybody likes GTA either. It's a game where it's kind of the same thing, just different story. So if you played a game with Ubisoft, you'll know exactly what you're getting into. Unless
it's Just Dance.
Then it's a different little umbrella.
And Chris, how about you?
Yeah, the reason why I bought my PlayStation 3 was for Assassin's Creed 3. I just liked the fact that it drew the history out of in an actual video game. And I remember the commercial that drew me into that game. So that was a big turning point for me to buy a PlayStation 3. And I actually bought the limited edition Assassin's Creed 3 console when it came out.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, everybody that's played 3, what did you think of the King George DLC?
Never got it. Never played it.
Oh,
I don't.
I liked it better than the game.
You liked it better
During
than the
that
game?
Yeah, like
During that time, I didn't have internet, so I didn't get the chance to download DLC at all.
Well, you get like these, like it's Assassin's Creed, but you get like these crazy powers. Like he can turn into an eagle and he can turn into a bear. It's nuts.
So it's just
cool.
like Dishonored again, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, what Linda was talking about, you have to have time to play these games. I actually did not finish 3, but I got really far. I just never finished it. And for you to go back and play an Assassin's Creed game, it's like you're lost. You gotta. It seems like to me, like starting over again would be the best option. So
It's kind of like Legend of Zelda, where if you don't know where you are,
Right.
you're gonna be so like turned around. You're gonna keep going back to places you've already been to.
right.
Yep.
So you have to have a fresh mind when you play this game. Like you can't go back like a month later and expect that you're gonna remember exactly where you were and exactly the button combinations and all that stuff. So like,
Mission on who you need to kill.
right,
and-
right. Any of your side missions that are going on, you'll forget them all. So that was what happened to me with 3, and I just never decided to go back and play. I do have 1, 2, 3. I have Rogue. I have Revelations. I have Black Flag, and I have Valhalla. I really haven't played any other ones. I started with 3. I did not play 1. So somebody told me though you didn't really need to play 1 to play 3.
Yeah, it's
And
basically
everything's
one of
kind of
those-
like their own storyline.
Yeah,
So-
if there's a different character, or there is sometimes the same character that's like pushed through to like a couple games, but for the most part, you don't need to like play any other game. You
Right,
can just
right.
play that one standalone.
Right.
It's a
So
big franchise, man.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Look at
yeah.
the amount of games
There's
that
like
they came out
what
with.
17 games I think total.
I don't know. Like I said, I have 7 alone on PS3. I have 1 on PSP that I don't even own a PSP. So they've come out with so many of them. It's ridiculous to get into the series and stay dedicated to get
Yeah,
through this
I mean-
whole series is going to take you time.
Yeah, the plan
Yeah,
the plan is eventually for me to play them all. I do want to play them all because I'm really interested in playing the franchise as a whole.
Yeah, the newer ones you can pretty much jump in anywhere though.
Right.
Like there's no more like modern day story continuity, and all the historical stuff's kind of standalone, so you
Right.
can kind of jump in
Yeah.
whenever.
Once you figure out who the like organization is and what's going on, you're like, oh, just a new person thrown into the mix. Here we go.
Right.
I mean, you kind of can tell that by the cover art. It's just like a standalone. Like, okay, well, Black Flag, you know, it's kind of like pirates. You know,
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like that, but unless, like, if you were to put, like, the first couple games together next to Valhalla, you'd be like, what the hell is that? You don't
Yeah.
understand it. Now, if you were to put, like, Syndicate and, you know, Black Flag and then the first couple together with Valhalla, then you would go, oh, okay. So it's kind of like, just, like, historical, different time playing, like, you're kind of, like, figuring it out. Like, it's just an assassin in a different time killing somebody else. Yay!
right?
You wouldn't know about the modern day or the Matrix or anything like that. Until
Yeah,
you
put
actually
it
start
like
diving
putting
into it.
right, putting that aside, the modern. But you just like looking at the covers, you know like that's kind of like who you're playing as.
Yeah, you're just an assassin
Right.
in a different time area trying to kill
Different-
some like big figure.
Right, different time period. That's all.
Kind of like Just Cause. Think of it like that.
Right. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have several of these. I don't have all of these actually, and haven't played through all of them, but I've at least put them in and tried them out a little bit. And so I do like how they're all different and they have different time periods and different periods of history. So I think that's pretty cool. And they're usually pretty good games to show off the console and the graphics and all that. And yeah, it really is a this is a long-lived franchise that's been around for a while, so it's definitely stuck around and must be successful based on that. And yeah, and if you haven't got any of these installments, these usually go really cheap at around Christmas time. You can definitely get these for bargain prices. So anybody who's looking to get in on the series could definitely get in for pretty cheap. So yeah, definitely a good series.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a first time buy for me either. Like I would definitely wait for these games.
Yeah, they're not expensive either.
Right, you can get them at like thrift shops for like $5 sometimes.
There's a collection of them too that gets all the ones that had. I think it's got 2 Brotherhood and Revelations all together, and that's
what is
because
that, the Izu or whatever?
Yeah, the Ezio trilogy or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
those
got,
three. Yeah,
I got
those three
ported to
have like a
Switch
story.
and everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right, I'll go with the franchise of the month. Everybody, all good?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Discussion. Everybody seems to have played it at some point, so that's cool.
Okay, on to the meat and potatoes. So today we're gonna introduce Hey Dad.
Hey.
Hey. So you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do on your YouTube channel, what do you collect, kind of consoles do you own, and just whatever you like to tell us about yourself.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So my name's Billy. I have a YouTube channel that I do with my kids called HeyDadLetsPlay. I started it because like I've always loved video games, and I've always like had whatever was modern at the time, and I didn't always have my older stuff like out. And when my son Oscar was pretty young, the NES Remix game came out for the Wii U, and I got it because like, oh man, I remember all this stuff, and we were playing it, and Oscar was playing. How that game works is it just gives like little like short snippets of NES games. So think like kind of like WarioWare, but it's like old NES franchises. And there's this one where it like drops you in the middle of The Legend of Zelda, and all you have is the lantern, and it's like, burn this bush, and so you walk and you try to find the right bush to burn. And Oscar's playing that. I think he's probably like 6 or 7, and he goes, "What is this game?" I said, "Oh, it's The Legend of Zelda." And he just looks at me and he goes, "I love Zelda." And that was like his first experience with it ever. And so that's what got me to like dig out all my old stuff again and start playing it with the kids, because he saw that little tiny clip of Zelda, and he's like, "I'm all in on this." So I started doing that, and as we were doing it, I was like, "Hey, I've watched a lot of like video game YouTube," and I was like, we should do this. We should try that. So we've got a lot of like Let's Plays on our channel of like older stuff, and then like a couple reviews and things like that. So that's kind of what we do. And Oscar's gotten a lot older since then, so we started out playing old stuff, and we still do play old stuff, but like it was always like super kid friendly. Well, now Oscar's like becoming a teenager, and he wants to start playing scary games. It's like his new kick. So we're currently playing through Resident Evil 2 Remake on the channel, and so that's a lot of fun too. But yeah, I don't know what else to say.
That's cool.
Honestly,
We'll throw some questions at you. How many kids?
Sure.
How many kids do you have?
3.
Do all of them play video games, or is it just Oscar?
All of them do. Oscar's kind of where everything started, but Katie's super into things like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, all the old point-and-click stuff like Maniac Mansion and all those style games. She loves that stuff. And Evie, surprisingly, she's the youngest, but she's like my most retro kid. Her favorite game is on my Odyssey 2, and I can't remember.
Wow, you really were talking retro. That's right. That's retro for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's Invaders from Hyperspace, I think is what it's called. But it's kind of like Asteroids, but that is like her favorite game ever.
And how old is she?
She's 7.
Ah.
Yeah.
And your oldest, I believe, she's the one that drew your logo, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So Katie does the logo, and she also does all the thumbnails for the channel.
She's very talented.
Thank you,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
What do you collect most of?
Mostly NES. That's like what I grew up with, loving. I'm mainly Nintendo. Like I'm trying to kind of parse down my collection a little bit because it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you that question actually.
Yeah.
If you collect what you play, or are you just like a collect everything kind of?
See, it's been a collect everything for a while, and like I'm kind of looking around and going, I'm not going to play this, I'm not going to play that. And
Right.
I'm trying to kind of whittle it down a little bit now. The pipe dream, of course, is complete NES North America set, but that'll never happen. But that's what I'm looking for.
I mean, there's a way you can make that happen. You could just like, you can buy reproduction for some of the stuff because of.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I could do that, or I could go like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Yeah. There is one person in here that does have a complete NTSC set.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Bones.
way to go.
That's Bones.
Wow,
That's David. It's David.
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't have stadium events, Billy, so I don't have a complete.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
I don't care about that stupid game though.
Come on, you know you want to run 500 miles an hour.
Right.
No, I can't see the point in just to have that to say I finished that set. Like I finished the set in my eyes. I have every game except for that. I'm fine.
What I forget, I can't remember right now. Like, what game is the one that's exactly the same as it?
Family Fun Fitness.
Yeah. See, I have that, so.
You have the game. You got it.
So do I.
Which is hilarious.
You got
Everybody
it.
has
Yeah.
that one.
Uh-huh.
But it's just a thing that if it wasn't expensive, I could see going after it. But for what it would cost you just to have, and literally that's all it would be, because we all just said it. Family Fun Fitness is the exact same game.
Right.
We all have that one already. It's just a bragging right, and that's not what my collection's all about.
That's all it is.
Stadium events or have a gold cartridge, guys. Are you jealous? I mean,
How long did it take you to get all of them?
I saved since I was a kid.
Yeah.
The NES is one of the few things that I did not get rid of, like really anything over the years. I regrettably got rid of other systems and other games, but the NES, that one, literally stuck through all the years, all the moves, literally everything.
Right.
And I just kept adding and adding and adding.
Yep. So all of my Nintendo consoles are the ones that I had from a kid. I say from a kid. I was an adult by the time some of them came out, but like my NES and my Super Nintendo and my N64 are all from when I was a kid. And I've shown it on my channel before, but I still have. It's like we didn't have a lot of games growing up. We had had Friday the 13th, Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3, and Dr. Mario. And we kept them all in like a Reebok shoe box. That was my mom's old shoe box, and I still have that box, and I've shown it on my channel before. Like, this is where my games were. Yeah.
Same for me. That's what our family did. We put everything in shoe boxes.
Uh-huh.
That was what you did.
Yep.
It was like a way to hide stuff and keep it from getting dusty.
All right, so I'll hand
Hey,
it off.
father. I'll take it. Hey, father.
Yes.
Any conventions you want to go with your kids this year?
So we've gone to Mo Game Con like every year that it's been on. We didn't go last year because of everything, and they canceled it last year. And then this year I've got a friend that's getting married on the same day and I can't convince him to just go get married at Mo GameCon, so that's not happening. But
Well, just tell him to get married in Las Vegas at Taco Bell.
yes. So we're skipping that, but we're starting to make plans. I've been talking to some other people. Probably going to go to Too Many Games this year. So
Nice.
that'll be the first for that, and that'll be the first I've been like to that part of the country too. So
Yeah, well,
That'll
and
be
there's
neat.
also Midwest Gaming Classic if you can't make it to Too Many Games. There's that one in November.
yeah, I might try to check that out too, because that's actually a little closer to me.
Yeah, that one's, and there's a lot more stuff for Too Many Games. It just depends on, like, Too Many Games is really massive for a lot of people. I didn't even see Bones. Bones and Dan went, and I didn't even see them.
Oh wow.
That's how like crazy it was to see everything.
Yeah.
So, what is your system that you always go to?
NES. Anytime that I'm just kind of like hanging out or can't figure out something to play, what's easy now is that I have the NES Classic that I have everything in the library on. So like even if I can't, if I am looking at my collection and I'm like, I don't know what to do, I can scroll through that and find something that I haven't played before. I don't know. The NES is just where it's at for me. I guess it's a nostalgia thing.
If you weren't doing video games for your channel, what was your plan B and C?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of all rose up because of video games. Might be movie stuff, maybe. Might be like, I don't know. My only other hobby is fishing, and I tried to like record that before and try to do some stuff with it. So I don't know. I might have like a nature fishing channel if that's even a thing, but that would probably be the only way.
You need to be so chill like Bob Ross and just be like,
Oh.
"Hey everybody, I am
Absolutely.
fishing at this creek today."
Yep, that'd be awesome.
I'll throw it over to whoever wants to go next.
Bones or Dan?
Next, so, hey, Dad.
Hey,
Mom wanted me to ask you, do you take the kids thrifted with you?
I do. Yep. Yep, I do.
You, let them like put any kind of insight into as far as what you collect for retro games, or do you have to kind of guide them all the time?
It's kind of like, what do you think is cool, sort of thing. I mean, I if they find something that they want to try out, I'm all for that. Katie's always looking for the next point and click thing. Evie's kind of too young to know what's to look for. Oscar's probably my most expensive when it goes out trying to collect stuff, because he has a goal of having every Bomberman game, and that has turned expensive very fast.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Did you get Bomberman for the NES? Did he get you to buy the expensive Bomberman?
I have Bomberman and Bomberman 2 on the NES. Yeah.
Oh, they
Yeah.
only get more expensive after that.
Yep. At the last Mo GameCon we went to, he's like, "I'm getting Bomberman for the Saturn while we're here," and I said, "Ha, no."
He just didn't tell you it was with your money, Dad.
Right? Yeah. Uh huh.
Okay, Billy. Of all the retro games your kids have played, each one of them, I'm sure they've picked up a retro game that they were like, "Wow,
Right.
this game sucks."
Okay.
What game was that for each one of your kids?
Let me think. So, Katie, she's my oldest, and she kind of like blew my mind. Mario Brothers 2 is one of my favorite games ever, and she's like, she wasn't having it. Like, I tried to get her to play it with me, and she's like, "This is not Mario. I'm not into this at all." And I was like, when I was a kid, this was the norm for me. I didn't know that Mario was a certain way. And she did not like it. And I tried to get her to play with Luigi because that was the one that I always played. And she's like, "Look how he kicks his feet. It's so dumb." Oscar, let me think. I know there's got to be something.
Always interesting to see what the kids nowadays think of the games that we played back then. What we would like you said, you like that. I was always a fan of the third one the most. I didn't like the second one. The second one was my least favorite.
Yep. I know a lot of people feel that way, but I really like it. If I was picking a favorite, though, I'd still pick the original. I feel like that game's perfect. Like, everything in that game builds on the thing before it. I love the first Mario Brothers. Or Super Mario Brothers, clarify that. Let's see. Oh, I know. Oscar doesn't like double dribble.
What?
Yeah. He's like this. He would not. He said all I did was run around and punch him, and he wasn't into that. He's like, I was like, that's how you play the game. Like that's. And he's trying to tell me there's another way to steal the ball. I was like, yeah, that's not fun. The whole point of the game is punching the guy.
But what about NBA Jam?
Yeah, I'm not
sure if he's played NBA Jam. What'd you say, Bones?
He wouldn't like that then, NBA Jam. Because
Yeah,
that's what you do it on. Like literally, one guy was always the pusher.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You need to give him NBA Jam and just say like the ball goes on fire, boom chakalaka, and just like see what happens.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
I love both those games. Eevee would probably be Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. She yeah, and it's not that she like didn't like it, but I think she thought it was too hard. Like she got really frustrated by it.
Yeah, there's some games that are just like are not meant for certain people, and it just you don't know why. They just don't vibe with them.
Yeah.
And that will lead me into my final question of disgust and heartache, and what is your thoughts on wonderful Ghostbusters for the NES build?
You had to bring that in here, huh, Bones?
He's a NES lover, and he wants to let me know exactly how he likes his Ghostbusters. Everybody should let you know if they love NES.
I don't like it. I feel like that game, if it weren't called Ghostbusters, that we'd be able to give it more of a pass. Like the whole mechanic with the car and getting fuel and catching the things and moving around is probably the most fun, but because it's called Ghostbusters makes me hate it because it's nothing like the movie or the cartoon or anything like that. But I feel like you could like rebrand that game and people wouldn't complain about it as much.
I think it's when you get to the steps, no matter what, that game has lost any possibility of being tolerable because it's impossible to get up those steps.
Yeah.
I had to cheat in order to make it up 8 years ago. I would have to cheat again to get up there, and it's just no way to get past that point.
No, it's impossible. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Okay, I'll pass it on.
Dan?
Yep. All right. Well, first of all, I think it's great that you've gotten your kids into retro games. I have a daughter, and I've been trying to get her into gaming, but unless it's like Minecraft or something on the iPad or iPhone, she doesn't have much interest in anything old.
Try Duck Hunt.
Yeah, I should. Yeah. So how do you handle like violence and filtering content for different ages of your kids, and how do you are you okay with them playing like Call of Duty or violent or games with bad language or whatnot?
Okay, so I actually just put a video out on my channel.
I was gonna say I actually watched that video. I did watch it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. So as a general rule, just when you're looking at games, you can look at the ESRB rating, what they think about it, and that'll kind of give you a general guideline. But as far as that, as far as I'm concerned, Oscar and Katie, they're 14 and 13. They can play all the T-rated games they want, because I haven't come across a T-rated game that has anything in it that I don't think they've probably already heard at school. And for some reason, Smash Brothers is rated T now, and Evie plays Smash Brothers because it's just cartoony violence. Like, that's nothing different from what we saw on Saturday morning cartoons. And I kind of give it a case by case like that. I mentioned that me and Oscar are playing Resident Evil. That's M-rated, and that's the first M-rated game I've let him play, and he's playing through it with me. The reason that I I don't know if you heard that, but my dog's like shaking his head real fast.
It's all good.
The reason why I picked that one when he said he wanted to play a scary game is I remember playing that when I was probably younger than him, and really enjoying the original and really being scared by it. So I thought that'd be, when he said he wanted to play a scary game, that'd be a good one to pick. And having it be remade and different, I didn't know a lot about it, so I asked a friend that I knew had played it, what do you think about this? And he's got kids too, and he's like, yeah, I think it'd be fine for Oscar. I think that's something that you should always check with, though. You check with another parent, and definitely use that ESRB as a guideline, but that's all it is a guideline, because like I said, Smash Brothers being rated T is insane to me.
Yeah, and maturity level also.
In the maturity level of the kid, yeah. I talk about that in my, I did a review of The Last of Us 2, and I talk about how I wouldn't let my older kids play that game yet, just because I don't think they're at a maturity level to be able to digest what happens within the story of those two games. There's some swearing in it, but nothing too crazy. There is a sex scene in it, and that would probably keep me off from letting them play it, but mainly it's just the maturity level, being able to handle that. And like God of War, one of my favorite, the new one of my favorite games ever made, but I don't think my kids are old enough to appreciate it. So, like, if Oscar came up to me and said that he wanted to play God of War, I'd say, like, yeah, okay, that's fine. There's not really anything in it. There's not even any language in it. But I would feel like he should wait till he's older just to be able to appreciate the themes in that game.
Nice. Let's see. And also, you mentioned like the Odyssey 2, which is a really old system. How far back does your collection go? Do you like those older generation game systems, and as well as the modern ones? Did you span the entire era of video gaming?
Yeah. It spans everything. I've got the Odyssey 2. I think is the oldest thing that I have, unless some of my other like little Pong consoles are older, but I don't know for sure. I've got a bunch of like different weird Pong consoles. I went on a big kick with those once, and like I said, they're kind of, there's some of the stuff that's kind of piling up that I might be looking to rehome soon. But I've got the Odyssey 2. I've got a 2600, of course, and then I've got everything that Nintendo's ever made, and then I've always been a Sony guy over Microsoft. I've owned a few Xboxes here and there, but I've always ended up getting rid of them because I just don't play the Xbox games as much. And then the most modern thing that I have console-wise is a PS4. I don't have the newer ones.
Cool. And final question. What is your, I guess, most prized possession in your collection, video game wise, and what's the holy grail that you're looking for?
Okay. Most prized possession is probably my Sharp Twin Famicom. I know it's not like super expensive or hard to find or anything, but I just really love that thing. It plays the Famicom cartridges and Famicom Disk System games, and I've got it hooked up to an old retro console style TV. All my old systems are actually hooked to that TV, and I just really like playing playing the Famicom games on that Twin Famicom. There's just something about it that's so cool.
Do you have a pretty decent collection for that?
I have probably about 25 Famicom carts. Not a very big collection. As far as the Japanese things, that's probably the biggest one that I have. I've got some Japanese other stuff, but it's probably only about 25 cartridges. And then the only disc system games I have for it are the Japanese Mario Brothers 2,
Right.
and Twin Bee. I think it's a shoot 'em up. I think it's called Twin Bee.
Any other questions, Dan?
Oh, you said Holy Grail,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I really want an M82. That's the NES kiosk demo.
Demo unit.
Yeah, the demo unit.
Don't we all delete that?
Yeah. So I grew up in a little town of, gosh, I think there was only like 900 people, and they had a Radio Shack on the square that also was a game rental store, and he had an M82 sitting on like the front desk to come in and play different games, and like he switched out the games in it and stuff all the time. And I really want to know what happened to that, because I would love to have one of those.
Yeah, I think we all want one of those. I definitely want one of those. Any other questions, Dan?
Nope, that's it. Definitely let us know if you go to too many games. We are all in that southeast Pennsylvania region. Bones, myself, and Chris, we're all within like an hour, I would say, of each other.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm planning on going. It's going to be like a 14-hour drive for me, but I'm planning on going.
Wow.
I live 15 minutes from the expo center where they have it. So
Wow.
it's a no-brainer for me.
Billy, do you have any questions for us?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. No problem. Just
All
figured
right.
I would ask. All right, we'll go on to the last segment, game of the month. Bones, what's your game of the month?
You know what? I'm just going to go with a throwback. We're going to go with Dr. Mario.
Excellent.
Dan, game of the month.
Similar, I'm going to go with Mario Golf since they just came out with that game for the Switch.
Hey, Dad, what's your game?
I'm gonna say Metroid Zero Mission. Metroid Dread looked so awesome that I've decided to play through all the Metroid games, and I just finished the original, and it's tough. It hasn't aged well. It's kind of a slog, and I just started Zero Mission. I'd never played it before, and just having a map makes that game so much better. It's got a map, the sprites are bigger, and Samus moves a little faster. It's an excellent game.
Linda, game of the month.
Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. I played through that. I had a blast. I never played the second or the first one, and I'm playing through all of them, and they're fun. Nathan is just hilarious.
And my game of the month is Assassin's Creed 3, since that was the franchise in it. That's a great game, in my opinion.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I want to thank everybody for doing the podcast. Thank you, Hey Dad, for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Bones, Dan, Linda, thanks as always.
Yeah, that's always had a great time.
You bet.
Please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, don't blow, just leave.
Internet.
Peace.
Later.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Thanks.